It is the Sunraysia Footy Report, and I tell you what, the Ouyen United Kangas. We've got the man that's been gallivanting all around the countryside. We've hardly had him on the radio this year. The coaches had to step into the breach. But now the famous Andrew Wilsmore, the travel expert and connoisseur of things out of Bali, joins us. G'day there, Andrew. How are you?
G'day, mate. Yes, back on deck again. I enjoyed me week or so away. Unfortunately, brought back either a version of the Asian flu or some human version of foot and mouth, or maybe I shouldn't have eaten that bat that they call KFC. Came back a little bit crook, but still standing and we're good to go.
Yeah, good to go. Been going all right, that's for sure. But I'll tell you what a performance by Robin Vale. Knocked your Blokes over 18-11 to 12-13 at Blackburn Park. A disappointing game in that, had you got that win, you would have still been a real show for finals, but I think it's done now.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty slim. Apparently, Einstein's got some sort of mathematical theory floating around that it is possible, but it's going to take a miracle. And we're paying the price for losing some early games that we should have won. But look, the score on the weekend doesn't really do the game justice. We had a shot for goal in the last quarter to put us 1 point down, believe it or not, and we hit the post. Pretty easy shot, but unfortunately hit the post, and that just took all the air out of the balloon. The boys just deflated. Robinvale kicked the last 4 or 5 goals to make the scoreboard look a little bit pretty, but it was a pretty close game all day, and look, obviously went down, and that might be our finals chances gone.
I think so. Isaiah Johnson's been fantastic this year. He's had a beauty. He kicked 7. He's absolutely tailing him up. He's got 76 for the season, and he was the difference in the end between the sides. A good effort from Ethan Gill for them, and nicely played by Camara with 4 goals. And Keegan Keeley for you blokes. Trav Parsons, Jamal Daly's 3 were the better players on the day. Joel Grace has been fantastic, and Sam Mead, a real breakout season for him this year. We go to the other senior matches, and we'll come back and take a look at the reserves and the 14s for Ouyen in a moment. But Orimple too good for Wentworth, 21-15 to 6-10. Actually, Orimple were doing you blokes a favour there, but it seems like at Henshawood, Wentworth need some favours to go their way.
Yeah, the wheels are really wobbly there, aren't they?
Yeah.
They do have some injury issues, a bit like us. Nick Jensen's been out for a while, and you take the best ruckman in the league out, and several others are missing. So injuries are really hurting them at the wrong time of the year. That was a big defeat, which is going to hurt them. So I didn't really pick that margin, no. But I think a little bit like most clubs, injury worries. You just got to get your best team on the park run into September, and I think they're going to struggle now.
Yeah, I think they will. Merbein, they've been really interesting. They've come really good. They've been consistent all year but not winning matches. Now they come out as we get close to the finals, and they start to worry some sides in this competition. And with that in mind, the Merbein boys got home 19-17 to Imperials 4-1. But I don't think the last 2 games are real winnable ones for them, but they're still a show.
Yeah, no, great effort. You're right. They've had a consistent year without getting the wins they probably deserve. So they got that win. They go all right, no doubt about them. They're a good, consistent team. So if they happen to get in, they could cause some headaches.
Yeah, they could. The 9 goals from Corey Leckel, a very good effort for Merbein. Merbein, I think, when he stands up, they stand up, and he certainly stood up with a big effort. Mildura, they were beaten by Redcliffs. This was a big surprise, 15-8 to 7-12. You talk about wheels falling off, and Mildura worry you because Redcliffs are still a finals hope, I think. But this is a very poor loss by Mildura.
Did not see that coming at all. I actually had them as warming as flag favourites myself. I thought that they had everything there that's required to take home the big one. This was a shock loss. I'm not sure what happened. I see Sam only kicked 2, Kerridge, but obviously well held, or I'm not entirely sure what went wrong there, but I'm sure they would have had a pretty tough week on the track, because that was just one out of the blue, that one.
Wasn't it? Jake Reed booted 5 and Marciano and Tyson Old booted 3 and Jared McGlashan really good. What's good about this Redcliffe side is they don't have any imports at all in it. They are really a local breed and are doing a great job of getting that win with their youngsters. Sam Kerridge played well for Mildura and a good effort from Elijah Brown with a couple of goals, and Josh Dean tried hard for them in the end. But it is a very intriguing situation. We go now to the reserve grade, and your reserves have been much maligned this year. They've had to really fight to get a good side on the park with so many out in the seniors, and Robinvale pasted you up 16-16 to 3-7.
Yeah, copped a belting, absolutely. I think the senior boys took all their best players, and once you take the top 4 or 5 out of most reserve sides, you're going to struggle. So they had a pretty tough day. Robinvale are pretty good. They move the ball well. They're a big unit, big and strong. We tried to get them on the outside with run because contested footy against them boys is just with the players we had out there, that's all they could do. So commendable effort, but it was a really tough day for our seconds.
Was the Zapia Safina show 7-5 for Robinvale? It was the Ryan M show for Ouyen United, with Ryan McKay and Ryan Monaghan being the better players in that game. But down to the 14s, and the lads have really gone hard at it this year. They've been excellent. It's been hard to, I suppose, detect what their scores have actually been because of this way in which they're presenting it with the forfeit now. But I think a very good effort from the young Ouyen United Kangas against a very, very good side.
Yeah, they've had a ripper year. They've probably won, close to half their games after, being belted and not looking like winning a game last year. So some really good kids coming through, same old ones at Corbin Copeman. See Finn Brown, who's had an excellent year, reigning best and fairest, been selected in the under-15 V-line squad. So congratulations to Finn. Great young kid with a bright future on the football field. So it's good there to get a bit of recognition and play at a higher level. So that's excellent. But the boys, they've had an excellent year considering where they came from. So hats off to the lads and their coach, James Morris.
Yeah, well done to him. Very good from Corbin Copeman and Harry Scott. Both got goals, a couple of them. Harry Scott, Liam Bond, Carl O'Brien, Zadok Kainarkan, and Christy Higgins having a good season. She's playing good footy. What about we go now to this week's matches? Robinvale Euston and South Mildura. That's a dead rubber. That's top side playing second to bottom at John James. That'll go comfortably to Robinvale Euston. You're tipping that way?
Certainly, that'll be a bit of a whitewash, yes.
Wentworth play Merbein, absolutely on the line. Merbein at George Gordon, not a done deal at all. Very much traditional rivals, these, the New South Wales boys versus the Cross River Crossing Victorians. I tell you what, if Merbein knock over Wentworth here, it's still on.
Look, I would have said Wentworth. I'm just not confident anymore. I don't really know, mate. I think with the performances that Merbein are putting up the last few weeks, they're a strong chance to win this one. Tight game, but I think I'll lean with you, mate. I'm going to pick Merbein.
Yeah, interesting, isn't it? Because we look at the fact that Brander is at centre-half forward for the mighty Wentworth side. Merbein have got big Corey Leckel at full forward. It could be a bash-out between the two big goal kickers, and who comes out in front. Wade Hancock's on the ball. They're going to put him back into the middle, and so that's going to be interesting. I'll tell you what, this is a beauty. I'm going to tip an upset for Merbein to win it. And Imperials, I think, will go down to Mildura. That's like a bottom side playing against the top side. You'd agree with that?
Yes, certainly. And I would expect Mildura to certainly bounce back. Last week had to be just one that nobody saw coming and one out of the box. I would expect they would have got belted on the track this week, and they'll come out and they'll turn the tables and get back on the winning list. I'd be picking Mildura by 10 goals there.
All right, now, this is the big one. Redcliffs and Ouyen United at Redcliffs. Traditional rivals in the Cure Cup sense. I mean, you've had this the great the Cup, which has now been played for and is not going to be ever played for again. So, now you're playing for position in the top 4. She's on here. A young bloke called Joel Grace is in the centre of the ground against Tyson Old. I reckon that's the jewel of the match here, those two. But then don't get away from the fact that you've got Wilsmore and Decane Stevens both in the Ouyen United side at the same time. That doesn't happen hardly at all this year. So this is going to be a very good Ouyen United side. I think the Kangas win and beat Redcliffs here, but I don't think you win by enough to keep your finals hopes alive.
I think finally we're getting some players back. So, yeah, Dell's back in. Kane Stevens has been out for 8 to 9 weeks. He's finally back in with a couple of games to go. So we've got our two best back in from last year's vote count. Should make a big difference. I think we win. Certainly, we're going in chock full of confidence. This is the best team that we've had for a little while. So it'll be a tough game. Redcliffe's are on a bit of a roll and playing some good footy. So it's up there. The forecast is rain, so it could be a wet deck. But I think which could lead to lower scoring, which won't help our percentage. But we'll go in with this one full of confidence, expecting to win. But whether we can win by the big enough margin will be the question.
Okay. The twos. I've tipped Ouyen United to beat Redcliffe's. I think you'll beat them here. You've got some good players coming back out of the seniors into the reserves for the first time this year, and I reckon you'll get up and nail Redcliffe's in the twos.
I think that they should. Hopefully, we can get a few more players back. We don't have quite the list to pick from that we had a hope with a few more injuries, but the boys will certainly go out there and be expected to win as well. It'll be a tough encounter, no doubt, up there, but I hope and I'm pretty sure that we should get that win, hopefully.
Redcliffe's a fifth on the under-14s. You blokes, I think, would be about fifth in or fourth even if you were playing wins for the games that you've actually been in front of the other side. So I'm going to go with Ouyen United, not obviously in the context that you'll be forfeited, but I'm going to go for your blokes to be in front of their score in this match. Yeah,
I think so. Like I say, the boys have played some fantastic football and really, really showing that there's a lot of potential there in our junior grades coming forward. We actually went to Mildura this week, had an open training up there for all in juniors. They weren't getting a game at any other club, so we trained in Mildura during the week. We had a massive rollout, maybe 50-odd kids turned up, so it's something that we're putting out there to try and get our under-16s and our under-18s back on track going forward in the future. So it was a really successful event. We'll look to do it again in the pre-season and probably as a regular thing next year going forward, just to try and get we obviously want under-16s and under-18s going forward because they're the future of any club. So, yeah, worked out well. But our under-14 boys, I think that they'll win. They're just playing really good footy I think that we might go 3 from 3 there.
Oh, she's a beauty and she'll be a good day and a big crowd up there at Condon Park and looking forward to the results coming through. And then talking to this wild traveller from Bali who's back, Andrew Wilsmore. We'll catch up with you next week.
Mate. I'll try and keep my feet on the ground.